Well then, all those EV zealots are so enthusiastic, saying electric vehicles better than a petrol car. There's few things they don't mention: the costs. How much it costs year by year, which passes you owning an EV, and how expensive servicing it's going to cost you, and finding the parts. They can say the EV is made from 7 components, principal components. It's true. Petrol or diesel car on the basis is around about 250 parts. Okay. The thing is, the batteries for EVs, they're very expensive. And like all rechargeable batteries, in time they deteriorate, depending on how often you charge them. If you charge them in the slow mode 8 hours, it will last a lot more longer than the fast charging cycle, which, just burns up the cells, and there you are. And you've got to take into account the depreciation of the vehicle itself throughout years. For example, Porsche Cayman electric version, within a few years, it's practically worth nothing. You have to call someone to pick it up and tow it away. And the technology in EVs, it changes from model to model. Anything what comes out here is different totally from the new one. Obviously there's a problem with a technical part of the EVs. There are stories, the Tesla and the MG electric version, with using a certain brand of tyres, the Continental. They don't grip on the road, they just slide. It's a bit like going around with ball tyres, basically. Probably due to the fact all the traction's in the back of the vehicle, and so on, and therefore it tends to wear out before time. And you've got to consider the weight of the vehicle. It's heavy, an EV, and even though it's saying we're going to start producing small ones, it's more heavy than a traditional car. And the dimensions of these batteries, they're absolutely enormous. Because if you underneath your feet of an EV, until right at the back where the passenger seat the EV's, the battery pack is there, 2/3 of the length of the car, basically. It is. and obviously, it has got a great range on one charge. It's all a question when these journalists or manufacturers test it, they test it on minimum consumptions. They do not use it in certain environmental conditions, whether it's summer or winter, what type of road you can use, where you have to go uphill or not, and what type of equipment it has on board, because it has an influence on the range. And the fact is, forcing upon people this type of alternative way of transport, it's not fair. You should leave freely people to choose what they want, whether they want a petrol, diesel car, or electric. It's their tough cheddar. and obviously misleading information regarding EVs. The safety issues, the batteries, costs, because let's face it, you think now they're dear and they say, oh, probably in the near future become cheap. No, those are industrial costs to produce those type of components. Below that you can't go. Even the manufacturers have to make a profit, don't they? And all metals and elements more to produce an EV than a traditional car. Well, there's a lot of pros and cons as well regarding these things. But seeing they want to force us within 2035, this manually so-called choice. Well, in some countries, these are mandates, they cancelled it. And the flop of EV sales in Europe and various parts of the world is clamorous, because the huge investments manufacturers and they put into to develop and put on the market, and always this targeting thing, no more percentage of petrol cars you can't sell, otherwise you get fined, is absolutely ridiculous. This is the European Union doing, and other countries as well, other governments as well. Because it's not exactly that type of technology which is going to be the future. It can open a way to many other forms of fuel. Mind you, the petrol and electric car, the technology has been around for more than 100 years. Why did petrol cars have more of a success? Because petrol was a lot more cheaper, more widely available. And this is the principle new cars of the future should be based on. It should be forced upon, like, you should buy an electric car because petrol cars pollute. Even EVs pollute. To produce it, to run it, and even to get rid of it. Because it's not easy to recycle lithium-ion batteries.